that the palm oil industry is over a $60 billion industry globally. Africa, which is the real home of the palm oil, barely scratches this massive industry. Why? In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the real truth about why palm oil may be Africa's real liquid gold. Palm oil is everywhere. We see it, we use it for cooking, we use it in cosmetics, they are used as biodiesel, and even for industrial lubricants. They are used everywhere. Did you also know that Nigeria produces about 1.4 million metric tons of palm oil annually, yet it still imports up to 30% of its demand every single year? Meanwhile, some countries like Indonesia and Malaysia, which came to Africa, even to Nigeria, to learn about production of palm oil, are controlling about 80% of global supply, which is something to look at. So why isn't Africa leading? And how can you position yourself in this industry to profit? Let me break it down for you. In 2023, the global exports of palm oil reached over $60 billion. And if you look at it, palm oil is easier to produce than other oils that we also use, like the soybean oil and the sunflower oil. 1 hectare of palm oil can produce 10 times more than the same land used to produce the next alternative to palm oil, which is soybean. And Africa has over 3 million hectares of palm oil farms, yet we still import because the demand is so high and the supply is small. So you see, the opportunity is huge because the demand is high, but the supply is little for our own people, for our own self. Before we talk about exporting, which is another demand, where the demand is also increasing drastically. So you see, the opportunity is very, very large. But the truth of the matter is that so many people don't even know where to start from. Africa has huge potential to dominate this space, but as at right now, they are not dominating this space. So you see the opportunity gap. Now, why is Africa not dominating this space? Let me show you. I've been in this space for up to 3 years, and I've been learning and I've been watching, I've been working with farmers to see what is it that's making us to still import. And one thing I see is that most people in Africa are smallholder farmers, and they lack proper modern day equipment for producing palm oil. We're using we're using outdated techniques and outdated equipment to produce our palm oil. The result of this, most African farmers, most African palm oil producers still lose up to 50% of palm oil just during the production process. Also, since most African farmers are just smallholder farmers, they even find it difficult to relate with international market, find it difficult to compete or to even come to the international space because they're just smallholder farmers who are just selling next door. So they cannot produce for the big market, they cannot produce for the global market. Many farmers are not even registered as companies, they just work as individuals, they just work as family members trying to put food on their table. So you see, there's no relationship, they don't have that capacity to build that relationship with the international market, with the international space, with the international buyers. Also, the cost of producing palm oil now, even locally, to serve Nigerians is becoming too expensive. Even to logistics costs for the international market to export is becoming so expensive. You have to pay lots of different taxes, different dues and things like that. So the cost is becoming too much. The cost is becoming too expensive for smallholder farmers. So they even prefer to just sell to their local space. So many African farmers see no incentive to even compete in the international space because after all the cost has been put in place, after the cost has been removed from the revenue that they've got, there's just no incentive to even compete in the international space, which is a problem for the African farmer, for the smallholder farmers, and for Africa as a whole. There's massive room for palm oil to be used as biodiesel. When we see in some countries like Malaysia, palm oil is being converted into biodiesel and used to power different machines. You know that Africa can even take a leaf from that and one day start using palm oil as a locomotive. When there's an opportunity ever comes, which may soon come to Africa, it's being done in other countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, where palm oil in some countries are being converted into biodiesel. You will see that there's huge opportunity. Those people who are in the space right now, have opportunity to thrive just because palm oil is now going to be used as well. I personally feel that if our poor and outdated technological equipment that are being used for converting palm oil palm fruits into palm oil. I also feel that if our export issues, if our export challenges and our costs, our logistics costs and our expenses are being reduced, I also feel that if our educational system is being transformed in terms of science and technology, we can see there's going to be massive opportunity for the palm oil to thrive, to grow, to become the next big thing. These are billion-dollar problems that need to be solved, and once they are solved, it can make anybody to become a billionaire. How do you position yourself to take advantage of this massive opportunity that's looming around the corner? If you are coming in as a new person who is seeking an opportunity, you can start small. You don't need to have a large plantation like the Okomu or the Prescos. You just need to come in and start small. When I first wanted to start, they say, oh, you need to rent lots of plantation, and that money needs a lot of capital. But you can start by forming a relationship with lots of smallholder farmers, buying from them and selling at a profit. You can start by buying or cracked various products in the palm space, like the palm kernel cake, the palm kernel shell. You can come and start buying those things from people who do not even need them and start selling them for profit, because everything in the palm oil space is just so necessary, from the brooms to the palm oil cake to the margarines to the butter. Everything is just so important. Then also, if you're coming as a farmer, you can see there's opportunity for the export. When you have an export quality palm oil, it sells for even twice the price that you may use to sell it in the local market. So there's massive opportunity. If you're coming as an investor, there's opportunity for you to invest in technological equipment. There's opportunity for you to invest in technological tools for the African space. You can invest in mills, you can invest in other African farmers. Follow the money. You can follow the money, you can follow government policies. If you look around Africa right now, you see various governments are trying to partner with farmers, trying to partner with local farmers to see how they can improve the processes, because food is becoming something very, very important for the world, for Africa first and for the world at large. So farmers are at the top of the table, and some companies like Okomu, like Prescos, those are some of the top companies in Nigeria. And what do they major in? They major in palm oil. Why? Because the demand for palm oil is just so strong, while the supply, no matter how large it is so far, is still not enough. Actually, the industry is a large industry. It needs a lot of investment and a lot of strategic thinking, and those are the people who are going to thrive in this space, who are able to build relationship, those who are going to be able to process more things, and those who are going to invest their hearts, their minds, and their soul into this space, into this business, for them to thrive and to gain out of this industry. Africa is sitting on the gold mine of opportunity, and only those who move strategically will take advantage of this. We've seen it. Palm oil industry is a ₦1 trillion opportunity for those who are able to see it and take advantage of this opportunity. Those who will think well and move in as quickly as possible. So what do you think? Do you think palm oil is going to be Nigeria's next crude oil? If you think so, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can see much videos like this, where we'll talk about palm oil, we'll talk about cocoa, and we'll talk about other cash crops and how to enter into those spaces so you can thrive and become a star. I wish you success.